1936. It was a year of hardship for the nation, but one of celebration for Torrance as it marked its 25th anniversary as a city. A special issue of the Torrance Herald called Torrance on Review, published in June 1936, reveals details about the state of Torrance during its 25th year.
We've got a letter from the president is sending his greetings to us on our 25th anniversary. What they tried to do is summarize everything that happened in the first 25 years. And they're focusing on the new projects, the WPA projects.
Ever since oil had been discovered in Torrance in 1921, wells were sprouting up where only cattle had grazed before. Companies such as Union Tool and Columbia Steel continue to thrive in the growing industrial town. But in the early 1930s, a severe worldwide economic downturn created the most widespread depression of the 20th century. The New Deal was a series of economic programs passed by U.S. Congress during the first term of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt from 1933 to 1938.
His concept was to create jobs, do public works. You would achieve something. You wouldn't just be giving somebody handouts and give them jobs.
Under the New Deal, an entity called the WPA, or Works Progress Administration, was funded by Congress with passage of the Emergency Relief Appropriation Act of 1935. Torrance would reap the benefits of the WPA, receiving funding for a handful of new municipal buildings in its downtown area.
The hot commodity was steel. We had the steel plant right here in Torrance. These buildings have steel in them. This building is a steel construction. This building was built in 1936. There's hardly a crack. We've survived all sorts of earthquakes with virtually no cracks. So not only did the government pay almost 50%, we employed local contractors, local architects, and local citizens, and the local industries.
It was built to serve as the Torrance Public Library, but this WPA building on the corner of Post Avenue and Cravens would eventually become the home of the Torrance Historical Society and Museum. Today, the museum houses the Herald's special issue that tells the tale of its history and that of other WPA projects.
Basically, it's saying 8 new buildings at approximately the same time are being built at an estimated total cost of $230,000. The federal government paid for the post office $52,000 in full and has granted $54,605 towards all the others. And it says 8 modern structures are effectively grouped in a beautiful civic center.
Voters approved municipal bonds in a special election on September 27, 1935, to pay for the remaining 50% of the building's costs. The new municipal buildings would include the library on Cravens and Post, this new City Hall building with a police department and jail located to the rear on Cravens, and the since demolished Civic Auditorium on the corner of El Prado and Cravens. Additional projects included the fully funded federal post office in Marcelina, a small Chamber of Commerce building behind the Civic Auditorium on El Prado, a conversion of the old City Hall to become the fire department, and remodeling of the water department building at 1510 Cravens. All of the new buildings were designed by architects Walker and Eisen, who designed several other noted Los Angeles buildings, including the Fine Arts Building in downtown LA and the Beverly Wilshire Hotel.
They were all similar in that they were, I want to say, a square building with one story, but very high ceilings. This building, which is the library, has a detail along the sides, and we hear it called a WPA modern because it looked like that streamlined modern look of that particular period. The City Hall had a little bit more decoration. It had big like eagles up on the corners of the building, had a little tower up on top. Now, that building has been refaced.
It would serve as the City Hall for 25 years until the new Civic Center was completed on Torrance Boulevard in 1956. The building was then turned into a home savings and loan and now serves as home to Time Warner Cable. Part of the savings and loan conversion included the addition of a mosaic by California artist Millard Sheets. Sheets was commissioned to create a series of locally themed murals, mosaics, and stained glass windows for home savings and loans around Southern California. Another little-known WPA project is the Torrance High School Auditorium, built in 1937. It was funded through the LA Unified School District since Torrance had not yet seceded from that district. In addition to public buildings and roads, the WPA also funded large arts, drama, media, and literary projects. Among those is this mural that currently hangs inside the auditorium's foyer. Its artist, Anna Catherine Skeel, received just $100 to paint this one-of-a-kind depiction of several years spent living with the Native Americans in New Mexico. The Great Depression, it was a time of struggle for a nation, but it provided the gift of jobs, noted architecture, and fine art for a growing city. Colleen Farell with the Centennial History Minute.